This is the best radio station.
Simply the best.
In the world. Simply the best.
What's going on, everybody? You are live with Brielle Osiris, and welcome to the show. Hey, thank you all so much for taking the time out of your day to tune in to today's episode. Before I continue, I need to say this. I am immensely grateful for everyone who has shown me love, who has continued to show me support, and those who are new to my work, new to my channel, new to my films, new to my books. Thank you so much for giving me a chance. Please continue to show me some support and do me a favor. Like and subscribe to my content if you are a fan. Whether you are following me on socials or you're visiting me at my website, the handles and the name is all the same. Keeping it simple for everyone to find me. It is at Brielle Osiris, spelled BrielleOcyrus. That's the same for my website, brielleosiris.com. Social medias, YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, X. The same across the board. I don't have Facebook. I don't use Facebook. But aside from that, you can find me at all of the main handles. Now, today's episode is going to be jam-packed with things involving entertainment. First, I want to say this. I had an opportunity to meet a legendary voice actor recently. His name is Chris Sabat. Later in the episode, I'm going to share a clip that came from a little interaction that I had with him. I had a chance to interview him slightly. And by interview, I mean it was probably like a minute. But after that, I asked him if he wouldn't mind recording a clip of any sort of a message towards creatives that are out there in the world. And to me, creatives are the focal point of entertainment. It's the focal point of what makes our world continue to revolve and not be stuck in the rut that is everyday society. I believe entertainment, I believe creativity is the soul of entertainment. And I believe entertainment to be something that allows people to stay immersed in a world that detaches them from the realities of their own. So I'm going to show you all that clip later in this episode, but I want to hop into a few things. I'm going to talk about the box office over the weekend. I'm going to talk about D23's Ultimate Experience, their event that they had. D23 is Disney, just in case those are not aware. And then I want to talk about something that I learned actually earlier today. The first thing that I popped in that I saw on my social media that I want to go ahead and talk about is the passing of Hayden Panettiere. She passed away August 16th, 2026. And I'm not sure what the cause is. In fact, as of right now, the cause of her death is undetermined. She was unfortunately found in her apartment unresponsive. And it's really sad because passings is tough in general. I look at Hayden as someone who was loved and someone who was respected in the business of entertainment, but specifically in the filmmaking business. We as storytellers often pick stories that we feel can connect with the audience or that we are connected with. And in that connection, we feel that connection can also connect with the audience. And with Hayden, she had her own career. I remember watching with my sister or watching her in Nashville. She was fantastic in Nashville. She was also in Heroes. I didn't watch Heroes, but I know that to be one of her standouts. I remember watching her in Bring It On, and I may be dating myself with mentioning some of those shows or the film, but she has a long history of work. She's been in the game since she was a child. So Hayden Panettiere is someone who will be profoundly missed, and her presence and what she was able to offer to our business is not something to scoff over. She was 36 years old, and it's crazy to even say that she was. Speaking in past tense already, Hayden is 1989 is not that long ago. 36 years old is relatively young, and not to sound ageist because I don't want to come across like, hey, well, if you're in your 40s, you're old, nothing like that. I think as long as you feel young, regardless of what the number of your age is, that number might be, it may be going into like the 70s or 80s, but if you feel youthful, then that's it, man. Like, obviously, I'm not in my 70s or 80s, so I'm not speaking from experience, but from those who I have known who are in their 70s or their 80s, they still do the best that they can to live a youthful life. And 36 years old is relatively young for someone who appeared on the outside to be living a healthy life. So I'm interested in seeing what the cause of Hayden's passing was. But until then, hey, much respect to you, to Hayden, to her family. I will do I will do my prayers for you all, and you all just continue to show your condolences for her and anyone affected by the passing of Hayden Panettiere. So let me shift gears here and talk about something that I think would get everybody excited, and that is movies. I couldn't even get it out of my head, kind of thinking about what just that news about Panettiere, Hayden Panettiere. But let's hop into some movies really quick. This weekend, August 14th through the 16th, saw another successful weekend for Spider-Man and the Odyssey. But there are 5 films that I want to point out this weekend, and I will press forward. Starting with, of course, Spider-Man: A Brand New Day. Spider-Man: A Brand New Day has a domestic total of $785.8 million. And globally, it has crossed the $2 billion mark. I think as of right now, August 17th, it has surpassed 2.02 billion in box office, which is absolutely insane in just 3 weeks. Think about that. So Tom Holland and that crew over at Spider-Man, round of applause to the team. Next up we have is The Odyssey. The Odyssey continues to do its thing domestically. It has collected $504.6 million domestically as of August 17th, 2026. And The Odyssey, again, as I mentioned last week, The Odyssey, in my opinion, is going to win Best Picture at the Academy Awards next year. And in fact, I am going to go out again and say Anne Hathaway is going to win that Oscar for Best Actress in a lead role. She was remarkable, dude. And this is no shade against anyone else in the cast, because I think everybody was sensational. But it was something about Anne Hathaway in that movie that just sent chills down my spine. If you haven't seen the movie, you need to see the movie. That last fight scene towards the end of the film was absolutely incredible. But anyway, I'm going to digress now and talk about another Anne Hathaway film. I am a fan of Anne Hathaway, if it's not obvious. The next one is The End of Oak Street. It opened this weekend. In its debut weekend, it opened with $21 million. So that's a great success in it, especially when you consider the 2 blockbuster films that's in theaters right now. So, hey, anything is anything, right? So, End of Oak Street, starring Anne Hathaway. So go check that out if you haven't. We also saw Paw Patrol, the Dino movie, which opened with $20.5 million this weekend in the box office as well, right alongside with The End of Oak Street. So 2 $20+ million movie openings for films going side by side with blockbuster hits is success in itself. And I can't wait to take my family to go watch Paw Patrol. Lastly, we have Cat's Eye, Wild Hearts, which debuted with $3.6 million. So, hey, it's a music-driven cinematic project. And I think anything, again, that opens with blockbuster films like that, like The Odyssey and Spider-Man, it's going to be hard to compete financially. But I think, hey, you put the work in. The teams, anytime you make a movie, it takes a great deal of work, a lot of preparation. And at the end of it, you just want people to see your work. And I think in that regards, $3.6 million is a success in itself. I would not go as far as to compare it with other films in its category, because I think that would be disrespectful to it. I think that $3.6 million right now, given the competition, is plenty to celebrate. So celebration to everyone who are in the filmmaking business, who's making projects, and who are getting people from their homes into the theater to watch and experience a momentous occasion. Because films, it is to be celebrated in its widest form. So that's my spiel on the films that came out, or that is my spiel on a couple of the films that was already out this weekend and 3 additional films that debuted this weekend, August 14th through August 16th. Now, also what happened over the weekend, or maybe I would say late last week, was Disney's Experience, as it's titled, the D23 2026 event. Now, this event saw and included announcements of the official X-Men movie, or the reboot, as many people might reference it as, but nonetheless, this is the official X-Men movie. These people, it saw some new cast members be introduced. I'm not going to say the names because I don't know if people want to hear spoilers or not, even though it's not spoilers, but go check that out. Also, a new Star Wars movie starring, it says here, with Ryan Gosling, and also previews for Coco, the sequel that came was shown. Coco, if those aren't aware, is widely celebrated in my household. My family, it's a biracial home. Obviously, I'm Black. My wife, she is Mexican, and our children are biracial. And Coco is a huge deal in our home. I had an opportunity to meet Alana Ubach, and I spoke with her a couple of months ago, and I will do an episode in regards to what we spoke about. Alana is freaking phenomenal. I cannot wait to encounter her again. I do intend on having a full-fledged interview with her someday. So Alana, if you are listening to this, thank you again for your time. I'm looking forward to when we reconnect, and I'll be out there in Los Angeles. So I'm going to come seek you out, and we're going to have an interview. Mark my word, I gotta have an interview with you. You were just too fun with talking to, and you showed my wife a lot of love too, even on the phone. So thank you for that. So aside from Coco, a couple of additional things that was pointed out. The Avengers Doomsday. Robert Downey Jr.'s Doom was finally revealed in full cinematic glory, and he is going to be absolutely bonkers as Dr. Doom, as we know it. In addition to that, there were a couple of video games from this Disney Experience that I want to point out, because I am a gamer and gaming is a part of entertainment. So I want to mention this. Marvel's Wolverine, which is set to release in September 2026. That one's going to be another game that is going to really captivate, people's attention. I think Marvel and Wolverine, I think Insomniac are the ones who's making the game, the same company that was behind this 2 Spider-Man games, or 3, if I'm counting Miles Morales. And this Wolverine game is going to be one of the best video games, I believe, that will hit the market in 2026 and will likely get nominated for Game of the Year, though I don't think any game is going to compete in terms of revenue or winning awards over Grand Theft Auto 6. But that's a different topic. But anyway, Wolverine looks really good. And I might get the game if I find time to play it. And also, to kind of cap it off with the last video game announcement, was Kingdom Hearts 4. It was showcased, and they also showed Coco will be in the game, remnants of the film. And I'm looking forward to that. So, yes. So there's that piece. Notice there's a lot to discuss within this short parameters that I have, because I'm trying to keep this episode within 10 to 15 minutes. So forgive me if it goes over. I'm doing my best. Okay, cool. Lastly, I want to talk about Mr. Chris Sabat, or Christopher Sabat, as he is professionally known, but most just refer him as Chris Sabat, or one of the gods of voice acting. So Chris Sabat, for those who are not aware, is a legendary voice actor who is mostly known for his voiceover work in Dragon Ball's universe, One Piece, as well as My Hero Academia. And Dragon Ball, by Dragon Ball, I mean the universe itself and not the anime specific of Dragon Ball, though he has provided voiceover work in that. But in the Dragon Ball universe, some of his main characters is Vegeta, Piccolo, and Yamcha. In One Piece, he voices over Roronoa Zoro, or Zoro as most people reference him as in One Piece. And he is the voice actor for All Might in My Hero Academia, which My Hero, if you're not a fan of that show, you should go and check it out. I myself haven't watched it in its entirety, but I believe My Hero, All Might in My Hero, to probably be one of the better characters. In the time that I did watch it, All Might was my favorite character, and unknowingly, and not knowing that Chris was the voice actor for that character made it all the better when I got to meet him. And also, to round it all off, he was Alex Louis Armstrong in Full Metal Alchemist. Full Metal Alchemist is a classic, much like the other animes that I've named. And I thought it was, I think it's important for me to mention his body of work, as I sat back and had an opportunity to speak with him. And he was even gracious enough to allow me the opportunity to have him captured on camera, with him providing such insightful information for the younger generation or just creatives as a whole. Now, I want to preface this by saying, before I share this clip, that Chris was not supposed to do this. He made it abundantly clear that he could get in trouble for doing what he was going to do for me. He went out of his way to give me like a 12 to 14 second clip of something that is so powerful, it's going to be carried over for generations. And it's so simple in his gesture, yet so effective in his gesture. It really shows the level of respect that he has, not just for the business, but also for myself. He did not have to do that, but I told him what I did. I showed him my work, and he was all for the message. Just had to be really slick about it. So, hey, this is a really short clip. It's about 12 to 14 seconds. So take it for what it is. And I hope you all are able to pull something from it. But again, this message is geared towards creatives. So if you are a creative, you need to listen to this. So without further ado, I present to you my short clip with the legendary Mr. Chris Sabat. Take it away.
Hey, true creativity is the one thing that humans have that no one can take from us.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you very much.
Keep being creative and keep doing awesome things.
Never quit. Thank you.
Never quit.
Hey, there you have it. That was my brief clip that came from my time with the legendary voice actor, Mr. Chris Sabat. I did have a chance to interview him slightly just for a couple of minutes before he went on camera and did that, because I think part of the reason why it was really tricky to even record the interview with him was because his voice is actually the voice of some of those characters. Some of the characters, he did change the inflection in his voice, so you wouldn't necessarily be able to tell in talking to him that he's the voice actor for some of these characters. But like, make no mistake, Piccolo from Dragon Ball, Piccolo, that is Chris. That is his actual voice. Walking up and talking to the guy and hearing him speak to the hundreds of people. By the way, I waited several hours just to have, I think, 3 minutes to talk to him. And that's putting it lightly. But yeah, dude sounds just like him. I appreciate you all, again, just taking a brief moment out of your day to listen to everything that I have to say. If you stayed through to the end, I appreciate you. If you fast forwarded and you skip parts and you listen to just little fragments of it, I appreciate that too. So, hey, you all tune in on Wednesday, which would be the 19th. You all tune in on Wednesday. I'm going to drop another episode. That's going to be the one where I speak about Alana Ubach. Oops, sorry, I hit the microphone. That's going to be the episode in which I speak about Alana Ubach. So I'm still ironing out the schedule, but right now it's looking like I will for sure be uploading an episode twice a week, Monday and Fridays. I'm going to see how I can work in Wednesdays. As of right now, it's going to be Monday and Friday. You can expect the episode to drop sometime in the evening. I would like to get the episodes to drop in the mornings, but it might be in the evenings depending on when I can get this recorded. So, and if there's anything else that pops off during the week that warrants me to say something, such as last week with Zoe Saldana, I really needed to say something about that. Aside from that, if there's anything in addition, you will hear from me. Otherwise, I hope you all have a great remainder of your day. I'm going to go to the gym, get some exercise going, then get this video squared away and ready for you all. Now, that's all I have. You all have a wonderful remainder of your day, and I will catch you next time. Take care.
This is the best radio station.
Simply the best.
In the world. Simply the best.